Essentially, for me, meaning is making an impact. And I think this is the most significant driver that we can have, because I'm trying to make a bigger impact, and I'm trying to create value for a lot of people and make the world a better place. I don't care about technology, I care about solving problems, right? Entrepreneurs, people that actually have the different DNA, they would look at the opportunities stronger than the risk. And they would figure out a different ways to say that. And they will go back and say, you know what, I'm gonna go back and live with my parents in order to make that. By the way, Waze started at the living room of my mom's house. This is where we actually conducted the first meetings and eventually decided that we're going to build that. And there is a willing to sacrifice, right? If you're not willing to sacrifice anything, then you're simply too afraid to go into this journey. So all the collaboration platforms in the world, the general rule is that you get much more than what you give. So you get all the information of everyone, and occasionally you contribute the information of a traffic jams or a speed trap or accident or something like that. In most cases, by the way, the active contribution of the Waze, of the average Waze, is not about reporting something, it's actually confirming something, right? So if you ask someone, okay, is there still an accident there, it's much easier to say yes or no than to actually report that there is an accident. And you don't need a lot of people to be active. You just need enough to actually capture all the information. For me, it's rather easy. I run into situations that I don't like, or I run into situations, by the way, for me, in most cases, it's about frustrations. I run into something, I get frustrated, and I basically say, I don't like it, I'm going to change that. Now, if it's only me, then I don't care. But if this is applied to a lot of people, then I would go ahead and add that into the list of startups that I would like to build. And sooner or later, I'll find the right team for that, and I'll build that. If there is a jerk, right, in the team, everyone knows that. If there is someone that people don't want to work with, everyone knows that. If you don't do anything about it, if you are the leader and you don't do anything about it, then the reality is that the best people would leave because they don't want to be in an organization like that. Now, this is very simple. You know, if you are a large organization and you want to ask yourself, do we have people that shouldn't be here? Then run a survey amongst the employees and ask only 2 questions, right? So who are the people that if you would go into a new working place, you would like to take them with you? And who are the people that if they would go into a new working place and ask you to join them, you will say no, right? And then you know, because this is going to be pretty consistent. It doesn't matter, right? So we wanted Waze that spells correctly, W-A-Y-S. But then the Waze.com URL cost $500,000 that we did not have, right? And Waze that it's spelled that way was actually only $12,000 that we did have. And so we decided that this is it. You know, what's the meaning of Apple? No one cares, right? What's the meaning of Google? At the beginning, people say this is awkward name, right? Now, it actually do have a meaning, but no one knows what the meaning is. If you're successful, people don't care about the name. So the importance of the name is start with a name that people think, that the employees think that, or the team thinks that we like this name, and this is it. So at the beginning, you shouldn't care, right? Break all the laws that you can at the beginning. No one cares, right? They only start to care when you're starting to make an impact, when you're starting to become significant. And then you'll comply, then you'll figure out a way. So one day the chief of highway patrol in Israel came to our office and they say that we are interfering with the police work. And so we sat in my office and I said, okay, can you explain to me what is the police work? And then they said, in that sense, we need to make sure that people are driving slow and safe in areas that we think are dangerous. And so I told them, okay, in that case, we are actually helping you. I really wanted them to say that their job is to collect, that they're part of the taxation system. But they didn't say that. I know that at the beginning we actually had a marketing campaign by the chief of police or the minister of police in Chile that basically, you know, every week told the drivers that don't use Waze to report on police, and that created the brand name awareness for us. And so it was helpful in that sense. But in terms of is that the main use? It's not the main use. In the reality, the numbers don't support that. It's weird. It's a combination of happiness that you made major milestones and giving up control immediately, right? So it's a weird feeling. I think that for us, it was more good feeling than bad. So we thought that we're gonna make a bigger impact with Google than remaining independent. And you know, when you look at the fact that Waze today is 5 times bigger than it was at the day of the acquisition, then I think it actually did work. But at the time, it's probably you know, the feeling of winning. So you feel like a winner at the time. And so many of my startups turns out to be successful in Latin America because, in general, I'm trying to build solutions for problems that are real, and Latin America do have problems, right? Like any other place. There is no specific industry. I would in general say that mobility is major industry that all the world suffer from. And this is why mobility in general will be successful, but in many other aspects. And so a lot of opportunities are in Latin America in general.